Welcome back to NYG Empire, where we give you all the Giants news and stay you up to date. Um, it's sort of breaking news, but not breaking news. 2 days ago, on Friday night, Patrick Graham has went to I was about to say Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, for their defensive coaching job. Of course, he had ties with Josh McDaniels and the new GM there, which was the GM for the Patriots. So yeah, now he's a Las Vegas Raider. So good for him. Great he had the opportunity. I'm very grateful for what what he has done for the Giants organization and being a great DC. They got a good DC over there. Now it's time for us to look for our new DC, our defensive coordinator. Um, we have a rundown of candidates that are I feel like that are qualified for the job as well. I like these lists of candidates. Even though some of them are not confirmed, they're more than likely are going to have an interview. So running down with the list, the first one I want to get down first is Wink Martindale from the Baltimore Ravens. He was a great defensive coordinator even last year or this year. He took a step back because of all the injuries he had on that squad. But the year before, the Ravens were like considered to be one of the best defenses in the league. That was their strong suit. But also, it's their defensive game. They had great corners, Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey, and had a great defensive line. Calais Campbell, great linebacker. Patrick Queen. His rookie season he broke off and did crazy. And now you just kind of like Wink has like a bad rap because it was a lackluster season for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson got hurt. The defense was out there a little bit longer, and they had a lot of injuries. So especially with Marcus Peters going down. So I think I will be open to hiring him. I think he's my favorite out of these group of people, but we'll see how it goes. Now we're going to Jim Schwartz. He was the Eagles defensive coordinator for 2016 to 2020, and he was of course the ex head coach for the Detroit Lions when they were bad. I'm not so fond of him because even though the Eagles throughout those years of 2016 to 2020, their defense has been like decent. They've always been like just straight up like serviceable, you know, just straight serviceable. I don't think they were like elite. I don't think they were terrible. I just think they're always serviceable. So consistency of being serviceable for a team like that, you can kind of give it a little bit props, but at the same time, it's like he's not my favorite. I feel like Wink he will take us above and beyond, while Jim Shorts he will kind of like make us stagnant. So I'm not the most excited for that, but at the same time, I wouldn't really be all that mad about it. The next candidate that we're going to talk about is Terrell Austin, the senior defensive assistant and secondaries coach for the Steelers. It's an interesting one. Give him a shot, see how he does in the interview, see what his philosophy is, and maybe give him a chance. I'm open to anyone when it comes to the defensive side because we have so much talent on there. I feel like uh on the secondary position, not so much the linebackers, the D line, but the secondary position with our corners and our safeties, like that's where the real potential goes with. But like the D line and the linebackers, not so much. But I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. So why not? Haven't really seen a lot of stuff on him, but at the same time, it's like if the Giants feel like he's a good candidate, you know, might as well see what happens with that. Then the next one that we're gonna go with is Sean Desai. Yeah, Sean Desai. I don't know. He was the Bears defensive coordinator in 2021. And he was previously the safeties coach for the Bears in 2019. So with him, he was with the Bears since 2013, where I read up on sources and on this article. And said he's been with the Bears since 2013, and he's been constantly promoted to like three positions, and now he was the defensive coordinator for 2021 and for the Bears, and uh, from the lackluster offense that they had, they weren't the worst of the worst. That's if I'm putting it like lightly, I guess. Like they were decent. I think they were okay. Like middle of the road, but at the same time with that offense, how like who can like stay on the field like that with that type of offense? It's not as worse as the Giants, but you know, Justin Fields always getting hurt or getting benched. You got Andy Dalton, you know. Then it's just like it's a whole fiasco with that. So like they didn't really have a stable offense. The running back was getting hurt. David Montgomery, Damian Williams, then Herbert. He had to come in and do a little something. The rookie. Then Allen Robinson was getting a lot of catches and like he couldn't create separation. It was something with that offense. So you can't really blame too much on the defensive coordinator for that because the offense doesn't want to excel or can't excel, and the defense is out there for a while. So like they're gonna get tired. They're gonna start giving up. It's just like same thing with the Giants. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting interview or interesting candidate, but we'll see what happens. I just think it's interesting. The whole candidate list is just interesting, and you know, I'm I'm interested to see like what they're gonna do. Now we're gonna go with Vic Fangio, who is not confirmed as of yet. There was a reports from Schwartz saying that the Giants have interest in him, high interest in him, but they have not conducted an interview yet. So we'll see. I'm all in favor for Vic Fangio because when he was the Bears DC, um, you know, in the earlier seasons, like he was really good. That was back. He was the Bears DC when they were like one of the best in the NFL. So they were one of the best defenses in the NFL. So like, why not give him a chance? But then again, the Bears were had a lot of talent on that end. On that end, when it comes to secondary position, the linebackers they had and the defensive linemen that they had, they were stacked. But at the same time, I feel like Vic Fangio, he's just a really defensive minded guru that he can make up so many schemes for us, and it would just be like a lot of fun. So like, I wouldn't mind him having the job for us, and plus he was an ex head coach, even though he wasn't that great as a head coach for the Broncos. At the same time, he comes with like a lot of experience and a back end of a success. It's like the top two for me is definitely Wink and Vic Fangio. And our last candidate that we're gonna go through is Jerome Henderson, DB's coach for the Giants. They expect an interview. He's not even confirmed as well, but like I think the Giants are just gonna do their due diligence and like interview him. At least interview him, because it doesn't hurt to do an interview. It's free. He's right there in the facility. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And plus, he did a decent job as a DB's coach, in my opinion. Um, so it wouldn't hurt. Like I said in my last video, that the DB's the development of James Bradbury was always like a decent corner. The development of Xavier McKinney is just like right there, like that's a future star right there, in my opinion. So I think it is right for us to at least just give him an interview. And that's it for all the candidates. And honestly, I'm optimistic about it. I'm very kind of excited for it. There's only only two candidates I really am pushing for: Vic Fangio and Wink. But at the same time, you know, I don't mind either or of these candidates on this list. But at the same time, that's the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that generic stuff, all the regular stuff you do on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for tuning in to NYG Empire, and have a great one.